Welcome to the TL Plastics presentation for today. I am Sam Janicki. I am the Great Lakes Regional Sales Manager for TL Plastics, and I will be covering our products today. So here we go. To start with, I wanted to talk about the couple different types of plastics that we as TL Plastics work with. Primarily, I would say about 90% of our material is polystyrene or PS. It's the vacuum form, kind of inexpensive, lightweight material, is used in most flats, liners, inserts, plug trays, things like that. One of the next materials that people might have been hearing about this year is called ABS, or acrylonitrile butadiene styrene. It is more of an additive that we put in with our polystyrene. It helps give the mostly plug trays and some other square pot trays durability, a little more strength, and a little more UV protection. Then the final plastic or material that you might see in some of our trays and round pots is polypropylene. Again, it's a lightweight, durable, kind of inexpensive material, but just slightly different than polystyrene. So at TO Plastics, in a typical year, we extrude roughly around 21 million pounds of reclaimed plastic material per year. Everything is made here in the US at a very environmentally friendly way. We thermoform a wide variety of different products, square pots, trays, inserts, plug trays, custom. And at the same time with our manufacturing process, we use 100% recycled materials. During our process, we also have a zero waste by regrinding and reusing any leftover cut-off material that is re-put back into roll stock. We try to be as 100% recyclable and environmentally conscious as we can from beginning to end process. Here's just kind of a list of some of the terminology that you would be seeing with some of our products. This is found actually in our catalog, but some of the items more common that people see are things like our SVT, known for square vacuum traditional, or an SVD, a square vacuum deep. So this terminology list will kind of help you through our catalog if there's any of these codes next to certain items you're looking at, or you have some questions. It just helps explain a little bit more of what they mean. So to start with on our items, propagation done right. We are well known for our plug trays and variety of plug trays that we offer. So propagation versus plug trays. Plug trays are typically a strong material, thicker material meant to be used without a flat. It comes with a wide variety of cell counts from small to large, 15, 21 cells up to 512 cells. It's typically less crop time before transplanting while using a plug tray. They're also available in a standard or a true size. True size is much more limited in the cell sizes that we offer, but at least gives you a little variety of the tray size overall. Typical cells are the square, but we also do round, stars, hexagons, and then you can also have different drainage holes depending on what you are looking for your growth, if it's burned or die cut. Another important part is the surface ventilation in between each cell. There are some options to have that taken out, but highly encouraged to have those vent holes in there. But with the difference with propagation trays is these require a 1020 standard open flat. They're similar to like a sheet of pot. It's almost like an insert material that's a one-time use, but you have an inexpensive material with that. There's relatively a smaller set of cell sizes to choose from with our propagation trays, but we do offer them in both square and round. And there's also having the drain holes either burned or punched through, depending on what you're looking for. To highlight some of our products, Star plug trays. They have the root channels around the outside to help the circling of the roots. Also reduces rooting time. As you can see, the bottom picture, you have the 72 star on the left versus a 72 square on the right. And you can see after 10 weeks from seeding how much more root development has happened, how much more of the roots are on the outside of the plug tray. And typically with a star plug tray, we also have a deeper draw or a deeper cell. So that way you have a little bit more volume for those plants. Sure roots are one of our mainstays for our plug trays. They have a very defined root channel the whole way from top to bottom through the cell, otherwise known as a V-shaped rib, and it's preventing that root wrap, and it's driving the roots down into the cell. We have some different varieties of this. Typically, we've seen our 50 square or the Sure Root 15, which is on the bottom left. Those are great for nurseries, for the perennial grasses, things that just need a little bit longer rooting time in a plug tray before bumping up to 1 or 2 gallon. Then we also have on the bottom right here our Sure Root Elite. These are shorter plug trays that are meant to be used kind of with LE or paper and glued plug trays, more the pellets that are just dropped into the plug trays and grown from there. But again, they have the V-shaped ribs in there to help drive those roots down. And showcase one of our new Sure Root 15s, the pop bottom. So it's taking the Sure Root 15 again with that star shape and the V ribs to it, but also creating a bottom of the plug tray that kind of gives it a feature to pop the entire plug out of the tray. A little bit easier, but it also comes with the low drainage, so that way it holds the soil in and holds the moisture in a little bit better than more of our open bottoms. Then moving on to our inserts and trays. So to start with, the lingo that comes with inserts themselves, we have the standard size, which is a 10.5 by 21 inch roughly. We have the True series, which is typically a 10-inch by 20 inch, and then the Slim series, which is 8.5 inch by 20 inch. And then inserts their nomenclature are usually started with 200, 600, 800 series, etc. And it's, for example, a 1200 series where we have a 1201. There is 12 one cells in the entire insert, or you could do a 1202. So there's 12 two packs over the whole insert, or you can move into the 800 series where you have 804s or 8 4-packs over the whole insert. So kind of the basic terminology of how inserts are defined. So with that, we have our inserts have a Z-cut perforation. Helps with when your customers are ripping the packs apart to help reduce the damage to inserts themselves. Each of our inserts are also sprayed with food grade silicone, so that way it helps with you denesting them out of the cases and putting them into the trays. If you are going to be doing any sort of flat filling with your inserts, we do highly recommend using a compatible ribbed tray. These inserts, depending on, again, the size, if it's standard, true, or slim, need to at least be used with one of those size trays. But again, we prefer that it's used with a rib tray for things like flat filling. Similar to our inserts are the sheet of pots or liners. They're, again, a one-time use, sort of the thinner material that can be grown as a whole sheet. A sheet of pots is literally a sheet of individual square pots that can be ripped apart individually, or people can take 3 packs, however they would like. A liner is the same concept as a sheet of pots, but there is no perforations in between each individual cell or pot. So that way it's more of for landscapers or people looking to buy full sets of trays. just gives you an option for a kind of a price savings as a square pot, but again, a one-time use, but needs to be used with a tray underneath. So at TO Plastics, we like to have the motto that our world is not round, it is square. And we like to say that because we are big manufacturers of square pots. And the reason why we manufacture square pots is because of the efficiency and the cost savings when it comes to square pots. So there's a lot of research and data showing that there's less runoff when it comes to square pots versus round pots when it comes to water, fertilizer, chemical drenches, and at the same time, that's because you have a higher soil content in a square pot versus round pots. So to kind of show a little bit of that analysis, as you can see, we have on the left here a 15 count tray for a 4.5-inch round pot versus on the right, our 15 count tray for a 4.5-inch square pot. The square pot tray covers less square inches, but at the same time, it uses a little bit more volume for those square pots because of the dimensions and sizing of that. So you are actually having less space in your greenhouse while having more soil volume in the same number of pots. But the other part that we really like to stress about our square pots is the press fill system. We are known in the industry for our press fills, and what that means is having a tray that is compatible with the pots where you have the pots upside down. You know, I actually probably start this over. I feel like these slides are backwards, but I'll just move to the next one and come back, I guess. So we are known for our press fill system in the industry. And what that means is when you have your case of pots, you dump them upside down out of the case onto a flat surface. You would then take the compatible tray with the case count pots, and you would put the tray on the bottom of the pots, tap down across all of the pots, lift the tray up, and it will be fully loaded with all of the pots. This is very significant when it comes to labor saving versus just having your tray and loading each pot in one at a time and trying to get through case after case after case that way. Here is a slide kind of doing a quick breakdown of what that labor savings looks like versus hand filling, you know, taking into account what your labor rate is, number of pots per tray, and just how much time it takes to do it as the press fill system on the right versus doing it by hand on the left. So as you can see, it's a very significant amount of time savings, which also decreases your labor cost. But at the same time, by decreasing your number of hours, you're able to allow your workers to do other tasks in the greenhouse. So one of our new products that we like to showcase is our 4.5-inch deep or 450 SVD with a tag slot system. So these have a tag slot sort of ramp that you would slide the tag up into the lip, so it's below the lip of the pot. This tag slot is on all 4 sides of the pot itself, so it doesn't matter how the pot is put into the tray. There will always be a tag slot on the outside of the pot. This pot needs to be used specifically with our new 450 tag slot tray. It's a 10 count tray, as you can see up above. And it is also a press fill system. So you'd be doing the labor savings of press filling the pots into the trays, and then also being able to do the tag slot. So you weren't able to slide them up and have all of your tags in the pots. And then at the same time, we came out with this about a year or two ago. It's our 550 SVD pot. We now have it with the tag slot as well. This tray and pot does not have the press fill system. It does have to be put in by hand, but it is only an 8 count tray. Great pot for large volume, perennials, things like that. And then here's a quick demonstration. If you'd like to click on the link and be able to watch the YouTube video of the press fill system, using it in the greenhouse, what it means, just kind of showcasing it actually used in a greenhouse itself. I feel like we probably shouldn't play it. Just let them click on it. Cool. Okay, so the perfect fit when it comes to our round pot carry trays, we have a wide variety and different tray counts when it comes to our round pot carry trays. They are compatible with many of our competitors' round pots. Very durable products, different sizes. I'm gonna have to start this one over. I feel like round pot trays are always a tough one, just because we don't make round pots. It's so silly. But okay, so let's see here. Okay, so round pot carry trays, the perfect fit for all of your round pots. We have a wide variety of the round pot carry trays of all different sizes and counts, 10, 12, and 15. We are known for having these with the sloping sides to shed the excess soil and water off of these trays. Helps with flat filling and just bench spacing. Our trays are compatible with many of the competitors' round pots, and we have a compatibility guide that is available if you would be interested in looking to see what these trays work with. And then kind of one of our unique sides, we like to call it our bakery division. We have things like the 8 and 11-inch plant pie. It's a great way of getting your plants started, rooted, and having a very unique channel on the bottom that helps move the roots rather than wrapping them. It's a great way for drop-ins, for starting hanging baskets, or for people that would prefer to plant in their own planter or basket. You can sell them this product and then they can put it in their own planter or basket. At the same time, we have a plant loaf, kind of that middle product there. Again, for like window boxes and rectangular planters, a way to get it started before you move it or your customer moves it into their specific planter. And then the muffin pie, the 8x4. Again, it's using that very unique root channeling and drainage on the bottom, but it's for landscapers, things like that. People looking for a whole tray or 8 plants that are well rooted and can just pop them out and have a reusable tray. We should probably not talk about labeling and barcoding this year. Some other new and exciting products that we have at TO Plastics, our triple extra heavyweight 1020 flat. As you can see here from the picture, it's strong and durable enough to hold a 35-pound cinder block without any bending. It's 3 times heavier, thicker gauge material than our standard 1020. Comes in both a open or drain or comes in both a drain or a non-hole version. So it's perfect for microgreens, hydroponics, germinations, transporting, just multi-use season type of flat. One of the other new unique things that we've been starting to ask to do is the open bottom plug trays. We've started this first with our 72 star. We take our 72 star plug tray and we saw the bottom off. Allows for things more like, again, LE pots, bonded media, or just people looking to have a open root pruning type of a plug tray. We've been doing this now also with our 98 square and our 128 square heavyweight. So it is an available option. I believe there are some minimums with it, but there are some growers starting to ask for, like I said, this open bottom plug tray. And then also our half flats or 201s or 1010s, a little lingo with those. Great for seeding, for microgreens, things like that, where you're not looking for an entire 1020 tray. So it kind of gives you that option of having just the half that size. We do make this in the drainage or no hole, and there are also a couple of different gauge materials depending on durability and things like that you're looking for with the tray of how long you want it to last for. And then our newest web flats that we now offer are the 1020 lightweight and the 1020 solid sided, so a little more heavyweight, a little more durable tray. We do still offer our original 1020 web flat there on the right, but we now have 3 different options depending on price point and just what you're looking for with durability. So to conclude, why TO Plastics? We're located right here in central US. Everything is manufactured in the state of Minnesota. We've been in business for over 70 years, so well known, great products. We are also try to become a green company with our 100% reclaimed materials from start to finish. Recycled products recycled plastics that we bring in, and then making sure that we have a zero waste manufacturing process. We have engineers on staff to help manage any custom projects or concepts that people are looking at doing, or any new ideas people would like to try to come to fruition. Knowledgeable sales staff, over 100 years of combined experience in horticulture when it comes to greenhouse questions and growing questions from greenhouse to nursery. Exceptional customer service, quick responses,